everyone. Welcome back to the SOC Analyst 100 Days Learning Challenge. We have already covered a lot of ground from SIEM to MITRE ATT&CK framework, from kill chain to Splunk. But today, in the day 17, we are moving into a truly fascinating area, threat intelligence platform. So think of this session as a peek into the future. We are going to learn about the tool that allow you to see cyber threats before they even reach your doorstep. So platforms like MISP and OTX are what I like to call the cybersecurity crystal balls. So they don't just tell you what is happening right now, but also what's about to happen out there in the threat landscape. So if you ever wondered how SOC analysts seem to predict and block threat proactively, so this is the session you have been waiting for. Let's dive in. All right, so what we will cover in this video. So what are threat intelligence platform, why SOC need threat intelligence platform, popular threat intelligence platform, MISP key feature, how MISP work, OTX key feature, how OTX work, MISP versus OTX. So quick comparison and integrating tip into SOC workflow, bonus threat intel feeds, and then key takeaways and wrap up. All right, so number one, what are the threat intelligence platform? So let's start with the big picture. What exactly are threat intelligence platform and why should you care? So threat intelligence platforms, known as tip or tips, so they are the specialized tool that collect, analyze, and share information about current and emerging cyber threat. So think of them like a radar system of your cybersecurity. So they are consistently scanning the skies for incoming threats, helping you detect attack before they land. So they collect, analyze, and share intelligence about cyber threat before those threats even get near your systems. And as a SOC analyst, the intelligence is pure gold. So it means you don't just wait for alert from your SIEM or your IDS. You already know what kind of attacks are trending, what malware is spreading, and which IP address or domain are being used by attackers. So what even cooler is that tip don't work in isolation. They integrate with the rest of your security stack, your SIEM, your IDS, your firewall, even your EDR solutions. So that means the intelligence they provide doesn't just sit at the database, it actively power your detection and automations. So if I had to simplify, a tip is like a giant community driven brain that's consistently learning about cyber threats and feeding that knowledge back into your SOC so you can defend smarter, not harder. All right, so why SOC need tips? Okay, so why are the threat intelligence platform so critical for the SOC? So here is why. Number one, they help you identify emerging threats. Let's say a brand new ransomware variant is circulating in Europe. By the time it reaches your region, it might be too late unless your tip has already flagged the IOCs tied to it. So that way, your system can start blocking it before it ever touches your network. Number two, they automate detection and response. So think about how overwhelming SOC alerts can be. So tip feeds structured data into your SIEM or your SOAR platform so that certain threat can be handled automatically. For example, if an IP address is reported in OTX as being used for phishing, your firewall can automatically block it. Number three, they improve accuracy. So false positives are a SOC analyst worst nightmare. So by pulling in verified threat intelligence, tips help your system reduce noise and focus on the real threats. And number four, they provide context. So instead of just knowing, hey, this IP is malicious, you also learn who is behind it, what campaign it is linked to, and what technique they usually use. So that's a game changer for incident response and threat hunting. All right, so popular threat intelligence platforms. So now let's look at some most popular tips in the industry today. So the number one is MISP. So uh, MISP is known as malware information sharing platform. So this is an open source platform designed to improve how organizations share and consume threat intelligence in a structured way. So think of it as massive, constantly updated library of threat data that your SOC can plug into. Second is OTX. So OTX or Open Threat Exchange developed by Alien Vault. So this one is also community driven, but it is designed to be a lot more user friendly. OTS is like the social network or threat intelligence where security professional contribute what they are seeing in the wild. And then beyond MISP and OTX, we have got some other platform like FireEye, Abuse.ch, VirusTotal, uh, IBM X-Force Exchange, Verizon, VMware, Secure Work, Bitdefender, Anomaly, Sumo Logic, Trend Micro, etc. So today, though we are going to focus mainly on MISP and OTX, so because those are the most widely used and accessible for SOC analysts. So MISP key feature. So let's start with the MISP. MISP is an open source, which means it is free, customizable, and supported by a huge global community for contributors. And organization use it to collect and share threat data in a structured way using open standard like STIX and taxi servers. One of its key feature is collaboration. So if your company is part of a larger industry group, you can use MISP to share indicator of compromise, TTPs, or even full malware sample with trusted partners. So that means you are not fighting cybercrime alone. You are part of a network defense. Another major feature is MISP can integrate with theme, firewall, IDS, IPS, so that when new threat intel comes in, your defense can act on it immediately. And finally, MISP support enrichment. That means you can add extra context to your threat data. For example, if an IOC come in as just an IP address, MISP can enrich it with geolocation data, who is record or related campaigns, so you know exactly what you are dealing with. How MISP works. So here is a quick look at how MISP work in practice. Step number one, collecting data. So MISP pulls from open source speed, private vendors, and even your own internal SOC findings. Step number two, normalizing and sharing. MISP structures that data into standard format like STIX and taxi. So it is easy to share and understand across different organization and tool. Step number three, integration. So once in MISP, the data can flow directly into your SIEM, IDS, or firewall, powering automate detection. Step number four, using the intelligence. So analyst can then generate report, track ongoing campaign, and enrich their investigation with the data inside MISP. So in short, MISP act as both a library and a distribution hub for actionable threat intelligence. So here you can see there is a MISP instance A, B, and MISP instance C. So how they are sharing the information together and creating a collaboration. All right, so this is the MISP website. I will share the link in the description box. So MISP is open source threat intelligence and sharing platform, and uh, these are the key features. So I already covered the key features in the previous slide. Key features, main advantage, and also you can see the data models. So data models, so MISP default attribute and categories. So you can see the categories and data model. Then MISP core format. So this is MISP core format. MISP support these categories: email header, file, host, onion address, etc. And here is the nice documentation. So if you want to go deeper how this works, or you want to research topic or research project, you can go here. And this is the download. So from here you can download and install MISP. So you can go and check what are the requirements, Docker containers, Puppet, all these informations available here. All right, so the next one is OTX key feature. So now let's switch gear and talk about OTX. So OTX, or Open Threat Exchange, is another open platform, but it is all about your collaborative intelligence sharing, where MISP is very structured and standard driven. OTX is much more community focused and easy to use. So one of the OTX coolest feature is concept of pulses. So a pulse is basically a package of the information about a specific threat. So it might include IOCs, related malware samples, TTPs, and even threat actor information. So pulses make it really easy to consume and act on new intelligence. So OTX also provides real-time feeds consistently updated with new attack and campaigns happening right now across the world. And just like MISP, OTX has pre-built integrations with tools like Splunk, Elasticsearch, or your firewall, so you can automate blocking and alerting based on the data. So in short, OTX is like a massive community bulletin board where security pros post what they're seeing, and you get to use that intel is protected your organization. All right, so OTX, how it works. So how does OTX actually work? Step number one: analysts or security researchers create pulses. Let's say someone finds a phishing campaign using specific domain or IP, they will publish a pulse with all that data. Step number two: that pulse gets shared with OTX community in the real time. And step number three: your SOC consume those pulses through OTX integrations, and your tool is automatically act on them. And step number four: you as an SOC analyst can stay on top of trending campaign and evolving threat by browsing new pulses. So what is amazing is that OTX has thousands of contributors worldwide, so the coverage is massive. It is like having an army of scout across the globe feeding your intel every single day. So here you can see the architecture. So this is OTX database, and this is analyst lab, and the intel is coming from various feeds: hackers forum, external reputation services, USM installation, and other details. So the reputation monitor is going to USM and OSSIM, and reputation monitor alert externally. All right, so let's see how the OTX looks like. So this is the home page of the OTX, and here you can see the lot of pulses, my profile, submitted contributions, pulses, etc., and statistics, and group I joined. So you can see a lot of pulses available here: pause scammer, razor blade, etc. So if I enter in any one pulses, so this will provide the type of indicators. So six domain, URLs, Yara rules, file has, host name, etc. So it is going to provide all these informations. And here is the detail of the uh, POS scammer toolbox, the pulse, and then related rules. So these are the related rules, and any history. So all those information we can get here. If I type Yara, so it is providing the Yara rule as well. So just click on it, and we can see it. So this is the nice structured Yara rule that we can use in our Yara format or in our security lab. So in dashboard we can see the malware clusters, and if I select one, it will show all the related pulses. Also we can browse all the available pulses, and these are the threat actor groups. Available indicators, malware families and pulses, also the industry type wise pulses and IOCs. So you can see I selected the industry semiconductor, and these are the pulses related to semiconductor industry. Also you can scan your endpoint using OTX agent, and also if you want to share any pulse you can create it from here. You can enter the source URL or text, and then you can drag and drop the file here, and your pulses will be available here. If you want to submit any malware sample, you can just submit the file or submit the URL directly. So here are some agents available for API. So if you want to connect your API with these tools, you can directly go from here. There's the nice documentation using API, taxi server. So how to set up taxi server and collect the information, and polling example API uses. So this is good. All right. So the next one we have MISP versus OTX, a quick comparison. So now you might be wondering which is better, MISP or OTX. So well, it is depend on what you need. So MISP is highly structured, standard based, and great for organization that want detailed collaborative threat sharing in a formal way. It is more technical but also more powerful when deeply integrated with your SOC workflow. And OTX, on other hand, is user friendly, community focused, and quick to set up. It is ideal for SOC team want real time intel without heavy setup. So the real answer is they complement each other. So many SOC use both MISP for structured collaboration and OTX for fast community driven update. All right. So the next one, integrating tips into your SOC workflow. So how do you actually put a tip into action in your SOC? So here is the workflow. First, alerting and detection. So tips feed new IOCs into your system. So when traffic matches those IOCs, you get an alert instantly. Number two, contextual intelligence. So instead of just seeing that an IP is bad, tips tell you the story, what campaign it's linked to, which actor is behind it, and what malware it dropped. Number three, incident response. So during an active attack, tips help you quickly gather related intelligence so you can contain the threat faster and more effectively. And number four, threat hunting. So with the latest IOCs and TTPs from MISP or OTX, your hunters can proactively look for evidence of compromise in your environment even before the alert triggers. So the tips are not just about collecting data, they are about making your SOC smarter, faster, and more proactive. So here you can see the threat intelligence driven SOC, threat intelligence feeds coming from various sources. And here is your SIEM platform, and it is integrated with TEEP. And here is your uh, security operations center. And there are some other logs coming to your SIEM, and it is correlating all the data and alerting whenever any traffic matches with TEEP feed. So this is how typical tip integration look like. Okay, so bonus threat intel feeds. So before we wrap up, let's quickly share some other great threat intelligence speed you can plug into your SOC. So number one, Alien, Vault, OTX, FireEye, iSIGHT, Abuse.ch, VirusTotal, IBM X-Force, or MISP. So each of these has its own strength, and many SOC use a combination to get a 360-degree view of the threat landscape. All right, key takeaway and wrap up. So let's recap the key point from today's session. Threat intelligence platform are like your cybersecurity crystal ball. They give you insight into current and future threats. MISP is open source, structured, and collaboration heavy, perfect for organizations that want standard based sharing. So OTX is user friendly, real time, and community driven, and it is ideal for fast Intel consumption. So tips integrate directly into your SOC, powering alerting, incident response, and threat hunting. So if you remember just one thing from this video, remember this. Tips are not just about collecting data, they are about empowering your SOC to predict, prevent, and hunt threats more effectively. And that brings us to end of day 17. Today you have learned how threat intelligence platform like MISP and OTX can completely transform the way a SOC operate. They give you the ability not just to react the threat but to anticipate them, and that is the real secret sauce for staying ahead in cybersecurity. So if you are following along in the SOC Analyst 100 days learning challenge, your homework is this: check out MISP and OTX for yourself, explore how they work, maybe even set them up in a lab and start playing with real world threat intel feeds. So as always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite threat intelligence tool. Tomorrow we will be moving into another exciting area of SOC operations. So stay tuned for day 19. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay sharp and stay safe.